nobody wants to roll with this blue belt because he taps everyone. So guys, this is a question from a user here. It's a very good question. So he said that he is white belt and he's training jiu-jitsu for almost 9 months. And he trains on a small gym. And he noticed that there is one blue belt on that gym that taps everybody and nobody wants to train with that blue belt. So he's the one who ends up training the most with this blue belt, but not because he wants, but because most of the other higher belts in the gym doesn't want to train with this guy. And what are my thoughts about it? So guys, this is such a great question, and I think that might happen in more gyms than we think. And I would need a little bit more context here to really give a strong opinion on this case. But what I would say is like there's a lot of like depends factors here. Because for example, I don't know the age of this blue belt. I mean, like if most of the students in the gym are older people and this guy is a young kid who hurts everybody, I don't know if this blue belt is hurting people. Is he hurting people? I don't know. Like, is he training like hard, kind of like hurting people, or he's training hard but kind of like politely? So it's hard for me to give like a really strong opinion here. But one thing I can say is that many jiu-jitsu gyms are dominated by ego, and higher belts don't like to lose to lower belts, which in my opinion, it's a huge mistake, you know, like huge. And I can do some experience sharing here and even say that even when I was on my hometown, when I was in Sao Paulo training at Alliance, and when I was in New York City training at Marcelo's, in all these cases, there were some very good lower belts that I used to train with, and they would tap me here and there, and I wouldn't care. Like, I literally wouldn't care, because my goal when I was training was to train, was to improve, was to get better, was not to like, I cannot tap to this guy. I think once you start thinking like this, that's the time that you stop like improving your jiu-jitsu. And for example, when I moved to Marcelo's, most of the guys who are the best guys on the gym, they were all either purple or brown belt. And I used to train for them every day, several rows per day. Many times, several rows with one person. Like there was a Matheus Diniz, for example, when I moved there, the ADCC champion, he was a brown belt. And I used to row with him like 4 or 5 times per day. You know, like, so after a week, we trained like 15, 20 times. And of course he would tap me, you know, like, of course that here and there I would do a mistake, he would catch me even when he was a brown belt. So if this is an ego issue, I would feel like this is not great, you know, like, this is not great. But all I'm saying here is like, I would need more context, because there is a chance that this blue belt is hurting everybody. And the instructor of the academy haven't talked to him yet, which would be a mistake of the instructor, because he should have a conversation with this guy, and that's why all the other students don't want to train for him. I don't know. I would need a little bit more context here, you know, like, and again, like, if it's a young kid who is hurting everybody and this and that, if I'm a hobbyist and I'm purple belt and I'm training at that gym, and maybe like I have a job, I have family, why am I gonna train for this guy if he hurts everybody? So it all depends, you know, like, so I can almost see 2 different scenarios here. Like, one scenario, this is a blue belt, he's a good guy, he's good and he's talented in jiu-jitsu, and the other belts are literally like being dominated by their ego and they don't want to lose to this guy. And in my opinion, this would be like a big mistake, you know, like this on my gym, for example, we don't let that happen. Like, everybody trains with everybody. If you tap to a lower belt, no problem, shake hands and go again. I tap for my students all the time, and I have no ego, no problem. And then, so this is one scenario, you know, like this is a good blue belt, good guy. He's not hurting anybody, and these guys here have a high ego. Another scenario is like, this guy's hurting people. This guy is going crazy hard. Like, it's not the mood, you know, like, maybe I'm a doctor, I train jiu-jitsu twice a week, I come here to relax, and this kid is going like insanely hard. I want to avoid that, and I don't think this guy is wrong, you know, like, so there is this other scenario here that this blue belt, it's young, strong, heavy, and he's going crazy hard against everybody, which is not good as well, you know, like. But guys, in my opinion, this would be almost like the job of the instructor to analyze this scenario. And for example, if it's the scenario 1, I would talk to the other students and try to explain that. And I think like many times you gotta lead by example as well. Like we gotta show that I don't care when I get tapped for lower belts or for our students. I think when you show that as an instructor, then these students kind of follow and get the same idea as well. Like, but so anyways, one scenario, I would talk to the students and try to explain, hey, there's no big deal to tap to a guy just because he's talented. You know, like, another scenario, talk to this guy. He's hurting everybody. We should have a conversation with this guy and hey, what's going on? Like, what's your goal here? There's a chance this place is not for you. You know, there's a chance you should look for a competition gym, like a place where people really go crazy hard against each other and they don't care, and maybe there's, you know, so anyways. But guys, one thing I would say is like, most of the times, those things start from the top. Many times, the instructor or the owner of the gym has a very high ego, and then all the students have the high ego. They don't want to lose the lower belts. They're kind of arrogant. They think they know everything and this and that. And many times the instructor is the very nice guy, very polite, very friendly, and most of the students are the same way. And for example, I'm not saying here that I'm very polite and friendly, but on my gym, for example, when it has happened, when a jiu-jitsu student comes and he's kind of arrogant, he doesn't fit and he leaves. We don't even need to kick the guy out. He feels that that place is not for him, and then he leaves. And I think this is the best thing. Like I love when I lose students that shouldn't be there. You know, like I always tell the students on the academy, like the academy should be almost like a second home. You know, like a place that you go, that you feel you're going home, and you're gonna meet people that you like, that are friendly, polite, that are there to have a good time, good environment. This should be the environment of the jiu-jitsu school, because in my opinion, like jiu-jitsu is the type of sport that we are so close to each other. So I don't want to be that close to a guy who's a sandbag, you know, like, so if this guy is a sandbag, I would rather that he leaves, you know, like. So guys, this is my opinion. Feel free to disagree. If you have any different thoughts, different ideas, please comment in the comments. Love reading your comments. Sometimes I agree with your comments, sometimes I disagree, but it's fun, you know, like, and I don't have the ego here, so feel free to disagree from me. And I think that's about it. And guys, I have one instruction that's my best-selling instructional video at BJJ Fanatics, called The Foundations of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If you feel you have to improve your fundamentals, make sure to check that out at BJJ Fanatics, Foundations of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you. Os. Please help me out to grow my YouTube channel. Just click subscribe. And to watch more videos, just click under see more videos. I hope you enjoyed.
BJJFanatics.com. Use the promo code YouTubeFaria to get 10% off any instructional video. Improve your jiu-jitsu faster.